What's up everybody, it's Strange Hughes. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, tribe. You know I appreciate you. If you don't know me, I am Jay. This is my platform, Strange Hughes, where I talk all things locks, spirituality, and day-to-day. And today I am celebrating my 2-year lock anniversary. I have been so excited to reach this 2-year benchmark because I have surpassed my wildest dreams of what a set of self-cultivated locks would look like. These are actually, you know, really a blessing to my life. I've been thriving and flourishing through this lock journey, and I just appreciate you all for following along the little bit that I have documented on this channel. But I just want to celebrate today in my 2-year lock anniversary by answering some frequently asked questions that I get a lot in my comments. I want all of the information about my lock journey so far in one place. So if there is any history that needs to be refreshed, it'll be here. And I'm gonna start from the very beginning of my journey up until right now. So the question that I get most of all is, how did I start my locks? Because I don't have the traditional upkeep or maintenance method. And I chose to start a second lock journey after my first lock journey with interlocks. The way that I did that was I had 70 something or so 2-strand twists that were palm rolled. I quickly found out that that was not the maintenance method for me, and I have fine hair and I didn't like the way my grid looked with such big locks. So I took those locks in half, 2-strand twisted them, and I've maintained them for the past 2 years myself with the interlocking method. There are multiple videos on my channel about the interlocking method, the tools that I use. So if you're interested to see how I do that and how I take care and maintain my hair, then I will link those videos up here and below. So the next question I get a lot is, how many locks do you have? I also filmed a video on that, but I can just tell you it's 149. Like I said, I started with 70 something or so 2-strand twists, but I counted in that video and I have 149. I'd say small locks. I really wouldn't count this as medium. So small locks that I maintain every 8 weeks. That's another question I get a lot. And some people ask, why 8 weeks? And personally, just for the way that my hair grows out, I don't feel the need or the urge or even the desire to redo my hair at the 6-week mark. And 7 weeks is just an odd number and I don't like it. So I always go to 8 weeks, and I can usually like tell because I have this little fuzziness going on around my hairline that's making everything look really, you know, just not as tight and as neat as I would like it to. So that's when I know it's time for me to retie. So I maintain my hair every 8 weeks or 2 months, and I keep a diary log of my lock maintenances so I can remember when's the last time I did it, because I go so long in between that it's sometimes easy to forget when was the last time I did that. So another question I get a lot is about the products that I use, and I filmed I think 2 different videos on the products that I've used throughout my journey. Not many of them have changed. I've only added maybe 1 or 2 things, like an oil for, you know, aromatherapy, and maybe a new conditioner, or it was something, but I haven't changed up my products. I didn't even really change them from my loose natural days. I kept the same shampoo and conditioner and oil, and I just am very light-handed with my products, if that makes sense. So because my hair is really fine and lightweight, I try to keep my products lightweight, and I try not to, you know, make my hair heavy with anything unnecessary. But you know, trigger warning, I do use conditioner in my locks. Now I know a lot of people say do not. I completely understand that, but for my hair personally, I have low porosity hair. I lose moisture consistently. I have to maintain moisture consistently. So that way I use leave-in conditioners, which are liquid based, and the other conditioners that I use on my wash days are also liquid based, mostly water based. So they rinse right out. I don't have any buildup. I don't have any product deposits. All of that gray you see right here is hereditary. These are my 2 old wise men, or old wise ladies, or whatever. And you know, my hair is pretty healthy for the most part, in my personal opinion. I also have never seen a professional stylist, not since my first set of locks. Would I ever? Sure. Especially if I wanted like a regal updo, you know, something real classy, real snazzy. If I just wanted my parts redefined, because I know that that was something I was concerned with before this retie. But I found my way back around and I like looped everything together. But yeah, I maintain them myself. I've not had any professional help, and I might get some in the future, but who knows? So another question I get is how often I wash my hair, and you know, like I said, the products I use, and how do I maintain it in between. So my maintenance, I think I have a video on this on my channel already as well, but my maintenance is like every other day. So I'll go with water, leave in oil, and I don't really do a lot of styles to my hair. One, because it just got to the length where it can be styled and I can switch it up in my opinion. When it was a little bit shorter, like this time last year, it was about like right here. So I didn't have these 2 inches, I don't think. I don't use buns, ponytails often unless I'm just trying to switch it up for a picture or a photo shoot or something like that. So maintaining throughout the week, I just do a lot of water, a lot of leave-in, a lot of oil. I try not to overdo it. I do that every few days just so that my hair can stay soft and supple. Not that I need it to be like soft, but you know what I'm saying, moisturized, to keep my hair moisturized. Questions that don't really pertain to my set of locks specifically, but like people are looking to lock their hair in general. I get questions about, does your hair need to be a certain length, or do you have to do a certain thing, or you have to do a certain method? And I think the only recommendation I've ever really had, I think all hair types, kinky curly hair types can lock, and it just depends on the method that you're most comfortable with. I thought traditional palm rolling was going to work for me, and it didn't, so I switched over to interlocking. And then there's some cases that are freeform, semi-freeform, that don't maintenance their hair as often as I do, even at 8 weeks. So there are many different ways to maintain, and there are also many different ways to start. So I started with 2-strand twist and maintain my interlocking. But you can do coils, you can do twists, you can do braids, you can do interlocking, which is what people think that these were, but they did start off as 2-strand twists, and then the base is interlocked. So you can see that the lock up there is a lot thinner than the lock down here, because the lock down here was 2-strand twist and the lock up here is interlocked. So it's a little skinnier. That's fine, it's not a problem for me because my hair is fine already. The other thing that I'd mention or suggest if people have fine hair like I do is to go for smaller locks, because it will create more fullness in your grid if you go for more locks instead of less. Say for instance, I kept up with the 70 something locks I had to begin with, my hair wouldn't look nearly as full. My locks would be bigger, but it wouldn't have this like body that I really enjoyed. The body is what I wanted. The volume is what I wanted. And I could tell that I wasn't gonna get that with the way my grid looked in the first month of that first set of locks. So I also, you know, suggest people to do their research and see what works best for them. And if you have at least an inch of hair, you can start locks with any method. I know there are some people who are not really fans of lock extensions or instant locks, but I'm here to say, like, listen, start the journey the best way you can, because your hair is going to lock from your scalp regardless. The root of your lock is always going to be your hair, so it really doesn't matter what the end is, especially if you're somebody who, you know, will cut them off as they grow out, or you just want them down to a certain length just to begin with. That is all based on preference, and I feel like anything that anyone is comfortable with that doesn't harm anyone else, by all means, go for it. So I am an advocate for all locks, and I think locks are the best thing since sliced bread. Me personally, I've always gone up and praised the way people, how beautiful people are with locks, no matter what the style or size is. So yeah, that's the question I get a lot. So another question I get is like the quickness or the speed of which locks lock and grow. So I don't know, I think it's different for everyone, especially with the method that I chose. There's no real way to tell that the lock is locked until way later, in my opinion, specifically because like the base is kind of like a braid, and these ends were the part that was a more traditional locking situation, because they were 2-strand twists and they butted and they locked together and formed a mature lock. But these here, these interlocks, slowly and surely shrink into themselves and they become a more compact, solid lock. If you've ever felt anyone else's lock, you can notice that there's like a little squishy, there's like a little space in between their lock, and it's firm, but it's still a little squishy. My hair doesn't have that squishy. It's very much like rope because of the way that I maintain it. I can't really say how fast it grows. I know the average person gets how many inches a year? 6. Like you get an inch every 2 months. I get an inch every 2 months. So it just doesn't even really translate. You know, my hair was like this long, you know, before I locked it, but now my locks are this long and it feels as if the hair hasn't grown, which is not true. The hair just grows differently and it looks different. So I personally don't really worry about length. I know I have benchmarks. Like I get really excited when I see my, you know, with it getting to certain places. Like right now it's about at my collarbone, which is, you know, exciting for me. And I always said once it like hits right where my necklace hits on my chest, that's when I'm gonna be like super duper uber excited. And guess what? By that time, I'm gonna be like, well, wait until it's a bra strap length. It's always gonna be more and more and more. But as long as I'm being consistent and taking care of my locks, I know that I can reach that goal regardless. And it's really easy to do so. There's also, you know, the saying that locks are very low maintenance. And I think that that is true, but locks just require care and consistency just like all other hair. You don't have to be in it every day. You don't have to dig in it all the time. You don't even have to be on top of a, you know, very strict routine, but you should have a regimen that you follow every few weeks or so, just so that your hair and your scalp stays healthy. Because what you don't want to experience is breakage. You don't want to experience irritation at your scalp. You don't want to experience matting and webbing at the scalp, because I suffer from webbing every single time that I maintain my hair. There is webbing, and it's getting better because I'm getting a little bit more diligent with it. But each and every hairstyle or hair type has its own issues. And to be completely honest, I think locks has the least amount of any other hairstyle I've ever had. Kind of like with the speed and the quickness of which locks grow, I kind of get the question of what stage are my locks at? And as I mentioned, budding is not really a thing that my locks do, specifically because I don't have the traditional palm roll method. So what they do are they're bunching together after their maintenance. So over time, this part is bunching down. But I think my locks at this point are completely mature and, you know, rooted. They're not going anywhere. There are no more loose or springy pockets of hair. This is where a lot of that springiness still existed, which it really doesn't anymore, because I've been, you know, doing like this in the meantime, between time, to getting them locked up faster. But I don't really think that there's any quicker way to lock your hair. Your hair just kind of locks at its own progression. Everybody's hair is different. That's why a lot of people go for lock extensions and instant locks, because who knows how long it'll take. And some people don't have that same patience, which is not a big deal. I know I'm one of those people who likes to have complete control of their hair journey, me personally. So I've been pretty patient with the entire process, and that's how I got to this point. So yeah, that's about it. That's about all I have. I think in addition to everything that I've already added, it's that you should just be patient with your journey, and you shouldn't have any comparisons, because your head of hair, of locks, is going to be completely different from the next person. Even though my hair type or my locks might look similar to what yours look like, something might happen along the way and they'll do something different and they'll blossom in a whole new fashion. So just be very, you know, excited about the journey and very open to what the journey will bring, because as long as you're being consistent, taking care of your locks and your scalp, because your scalp is important too, then you should have a flourishing and thriving lock journey. So yeah, I don't have any plans for my hair. I just am gonna look forward to the next year of growth and see what happens and try out a few new styles. I do have a few new styles that I've been trying out that I really do like, so I might make a video about that in the future, about the new styles that I am doing now that my hair has reached a certain length, because beforehand I couldn't quite reach, or I couldn't quite do the things I was trying to do in my head with my actual hair. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you so much for your all's support. Let me know down below in the comments where you are in your journey. Even if you just started or you're about to start, or if this video inspired you to start, let me know. And I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Peace.